How's it going, friends? I hope you're all doing great. First of all, let me tell you that today is not an episode like the ones we do every week. Today I bring you something new. It's a new section on this channel where I want to present you with small facts and information of interest, with a focus that's mostly informative. So, I'll be presenting short videos from time to time about news or interesting things in this space. So I hope you like this new format. All right, so I hope everything is clear now and there's no confusion. So let me stress again, this is not the weekly episode. All right, friends, today I'll tell you a bit about the famous Campo Berlin airstrip, which gained fame because the plane with the two figures from Sinaloa took off from there, heading to the United States. First, let's look at the characteristics of this airfield. Because that's the correct definition. It's an airstrip. Or landing strip, but the media, as always, misinforming people, calling it an illegal airstrip. This strip is not illegal at all since it has all the permits to operate and is registered. Here, let me show you the registration from the Secretary of Government. Here, as you can see, this is the runway. You already noticed it says aerodrome, right? And it's because a clandestine airstrip is one that operates without the proper authorization from authorities and is generally located in remote and discreet areas. On the other hand, an airstrip with legal permits and formal characteristics is considered a regular landing strip, although it might have been intended for illegal activities. Look, here I'll show you on the screen. So you can see everything is in order. The runway is approximately more than 1,000 meters long. Now it measure this, but it wasn't always like this, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about the history of this airstrip. You already saw that it is located exactly in the town of Campo Berlin, very close to Villa Angel Flores, better known as La Palma Nabolato. Here is Campo Berlin, and here you can see Villa Angel Flores. Here's this airstrip. It was bought between late 2004 and early 2006. It was purchased jointly by Pocha and the Licenciando. They bought it from some brothers who I'd rather not name to keep them out of trouble. The airstrip cost them $700,000. And Pocha put $350,000 and the Licenciando another $350,000. Actually, the money to buy that place came from a deal they did with Chupeta, the famous Colombian who had a lot of facial surgeries. Back then, they used a track in the Villa Juarez district a lot, and they needed another one with less heat on it, one to use for more personal things, you could say, and not so much for work. The news and media are very wrong because they mention that this place was built around 15 years ago. And as I already told you, that's not true. The track is over 20 years old. What happened is that they made improvements and renovations. The track originally measured approximately 800 meters long, and the person in charge of that track was named German. He was a mechanic that the Licenciado brought from the south and installed in Sinaloa, and he was the person in charge of always keeping the airplanes in order, always ensuring that they will work properly, and that they did not have mechanical failures. In fact, this person was also arrested in the year 2015 because he was in Querétaro at the track from which Pocha escaped when he fled. That airstrip was known with the code name of El Tres, or the Three. It was one of the best runways because it was paved. Everything Pocha needed in the mountains came from there. whether it was food, clothes, women, or drinks. So that place was like the base. There was an Islander bimotor plane like the one I'm going to show you on the screen. And I'm going to explain why that plane was bought. That plane had a special door installed because Pak had a plan. The plan was to send it to the border at night with people on board having parachutes and bundles of marijuana tied to them. And the plane would report normally as if it was going to, let's say, Mexicali. It would land there and practically be flying right on the borderline with the United States. And there at night, they would jump with parachutes and land at a pre-designated spot with the packages of grass. That was Pocha's plan for them to get lost in the darkness so they wouldn't be detected. But this plan never materialized, and the plane ended up abandoned there in the hangar. Or rather, under the shed of the three. All right. You wouldn't believe how much money was made from that runway. That track was like the reception base for all the grass they brought from the mountains. 15 trips could arrive daily, and there were double-wheeled vehicles ready to take the grass to a warehouse. The person in charge of that operation, handling the logistics, receiving the planes, and coordinating with the pilots, was a close friend of El Menor. A person we will only refer to by his nickname is a pilot called Morris. And when I say there were many trips, I mean there were thousands of trips. Now I'll tell you why the runway had to be enlarged, and that's because the Menors acquired a plane that belonged to El Animal, a Piper Matrix. Well, that plane was bought by the animal for his son, but then the Menors kept it, and that plane needed more runway to take off. Also, because the wings were longer, they needed the runway to be wider too. And because it has a very delicate landing gear, they also improved the runway's asphalt. That's why they say the runway was done 15 years ago, because those repairs were made about 15 years ago. Here I'm going to show you a short video of a plane like the one I'm telling you about. The Piper Matrix. In fact, Marcial Fernandez appears in a photo inside of that plane. From this airfield is where the Menors and ML would take off for Guadalajara or Mexico City, and maybe Los Cabos, back when they were still friends. Many times they'd run into each other when one was arriving and the other was leaving. Then the Menors bought another plane which was much faster, but could only carry the pilot and 3 passengers. Plus the landing gear was very delicate. This plane was a Cessna 400 Corvallis TTX. Here, I will show you another video of a similar plane so you can get an idea of what it looks like. Well, that's why, because the track is long. That's why the regular track used to measure about 800 meters. That's why they modified it. This runway also has some very, very dark stories. They took people to the mountains and they never returned the same, like people who were taken by force. They were put on planes to go see out there in the mountains, the Chaparrito. All right, this place was secured around September of 2015. The Navy seized it and set up a base there with drones, helicopters, trucks, and confiscated trucks. In fact, in one of the letters, the Chaparrito asks about this place. Look here. I'm going to show you. Here it says look and the 3. If it's fine, let me know. And if they insured it, file an injunction. The papers of that place, you know who has them. Well, in the last quarter of 2018, the Navy left and vacated the airstrip, returning it to the Minoras, who continued to use it without any incidents, until July 25th, when the event happened. Remember that the Yoma in the letter published by his lawyer said that in Huertos del Pedregal, he traveled for approximately 20 to 25 minutes until reaching a runway. And right here on the screen, I'm going to show you how you can see the path that leads from the Huertos del Pedregal here all the way to where El Tres is. It's about 20 or 25 minutes long. In the last video, I told you there were 2 possible tracks they could have taken off. Someone saw the trucks leaving Los Huertos del Pedregal. They said the trucks headed towards Culiacancito, and maybe they went to El Dorado or to runway number 3. Here, we were the first ones to mention this runway when no one else had, and we told you that a source had told us that apparently the plane had left from here, from number 3. But what happened was that someone told me they had seen that plane days before on the runway near El Dorado, which is why I also mentioned that a source said it had departed from there. Now here, I'm going to show you a video of the runway and its facilities, so you can get a better look. And now, I'm going to show you the video, I think you already saw it, of the plane taking off on the 25th of July. Here you can see the plane take off. All right, folks, that's all for today. I just wanted to let you know a bit more about this mysterious place, which everyone is talking about in the news lately. This is the story of the Campo de Berlin runway. I hope you liked the format where I'll be showing you short stories about popular topics. Comment, and let me know if you like this format, or if you just want full episodes. And also, let me know in the comments what other things you would like to know about so I can start investigating. I'm saying goodbye to all of you. And don't forget that this Friday we have another appointment right here, but in another episode of your podcast. And Facebook is now available, and the hats will be coming soon. You'll hear more on social media. Take care, everyone. I say goodbye with a big hug until next time.